Good eve, my fellow lords and ladies of Middle-earth, and welcome to the lair of Filmer. Tonight, we will be reviewing The Hobbit, Battle of the Five Armies. Bilbo and company are forced to engage in a war against an array of combatants and keep the lonely mountain from falling into the hands of a rising darkness. Now, we've talked about the other two movies, The Unexpected Journey and The Desolate of Smaug, and during our last review, we left off from the attack of Smaug on Rivertown, where we witness Smaug burning down Rivertown and inadvertently killing the master of the town, leaving Bowman in charge after he kills Smaug. And we watch as slowly our group of dwarves begin to break apart due to Thorin regaining his throne and hunting inside the fortress looking for the King's Stone, which has been claimed by Bilbo. During this hunt, Thorin begins to lose his mind, starts to become paranoid against his allies, believing that they have betrayed him and believing that none of them have loyalty towards him, because while he now has his throne, he is now succumbing to the king's madness, which many others have fallen a victim to, including his own grandfather. And because of this, when the elves and the people of Rivertown come to claim their share of the gold after helping Thorin and the dwarves, Thorin decides to turn them away, breaking his part of the bargain, and deciding to hold up into in the fortress against the elves and the humans who wish to make peace, and resulting in them instead coming to terms with starting a war against the dwarves. And because while this is going on, Gandalf is now trapped in the orc camp after trying to fight the remnants of Sauron, which in this movie is known as the Necromancer. And this is the point where we learn that Sauron is regaining power and rebuilding his army. After Radagast the Brown leaves Gandalf, he goes off to go gain the help of Galadriel, who comes to Gandalf's rescue, ultimately weakening herself to the point of near death, and she has to be saved, while Gandalf rides off to Rivertown to warn everyone of the impending war against the orcs. And while this is going on, we now have the humans and the elves joining forces outside the Misty Mountain, the Lone Mountain, to face off against the dwarves who are holed up, which inadvertently we find out that Thorin sent out a message to his cousin who comes to his aid, and it becomes a battle of the dwarves and the elves, which doesn't last too long because then it leads into a battle of the dwarves, the humans, the elves, the orcs, and the wolves. Later on, the eagles and the bats join the fight. And let me just say, if I thought Revenge of the Sith and Return of the Jedi had the best battles in them, but they do not compare to this movie. Like, the scale of fighting in Rivertown and fighting outside the Lone Mountain, it is just so massive. And then, not just that, we also go to the Orcs outpost, where we have Azog, who he ends up fighting and winning on the icy ground of the Orcs outpost, ultimately finally getting his revenge for his grandfather and his father, but also in doing so, he ends up dying in the end because he gets stabbed, which was his biggest sacrifice, and he is surrounded by he is watched by Bilbo, who helped him during the battle against Azog. Wow. I thought Frodo was good. Bilbo is amazing. Like, watching that little guy in the in Rivertown taking out those orcs with Gandalf was just amazing. Like, I didn't know hobbits were that good at fighting. On top of that, we also lose Fili and Kili, the nephews of Thorin, who these two fought valiantly against the orcs, trying to keep them away, keeping the onslaught of orcs from reaching their uncle, as he fights off Azog. We also get some action with Legolas, which, bravo Orlando Bloom. I love his character. I loved him in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and I love him even more now. Watching him swing on that bridge, doing whatever it takes to kill Azog's second in command. But honestly, I don't know what I can say other than this was an amazing movie, and I loved watching the battle. I loved watching the scene where we watch Thorin fall down into the molten gold as like a symbolism of him falling into madness, drowning in his own greed, thanks to the King's Stone. Also, I think it kind of was a good idea to have it so it seems like Bilbo betrayed Thorin when really he was just trying to save him from his own madness. And I don't know, I really like this movie, and I love how it acts as the perfect conclusion to the first trilogy of the Lord of the Rings franchise, bringing the movie to a complete and brilliant end, leaving off with, well, Bilbo going back to the Shire. We get the hilarious scene of watching all his items getting auctioned off to his family and friends, under the proposal that he was deceased due to being gone for a long time, and because of this, he's got to show them the contract, showing that he is Bilbo Baggins and that he is fully alive. And this leads into, well, technically, the first movie at the very beginning leads into the Fellowship of the Ring, where here it kind of shows us the conclusion of his story. while also showing us the conclusion of his journey with the dwarves and the and Gandalf. And I love this movie. I really do, and I couldn't pick a better way to watch it. Like, HBO Max gave me the opportunity to watch all 3 movies, and I gotta say, I love Star Wars, but unless they can do something as good as this, I don't think it's going to be... I think Star Wars has kind of lost its place on my list. I mean, I still really love Revenge of the Sith, and it is still my #1 movie and always will be, but I really enjoyed the Hobbit trilogy, and I really can't wait until the new Lord of the Rings series that's supposed to be coming out soon. But either way, I think I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10 because I couldn't really find any flaws in this movie, and that means I'm giving the entire Hobbit trilogy a 10 out of 10 altogether, because just it was an amazing order of movies, and just I really couldn't find anything wrong. I love these movies so much, and I don't know, I'm kind of sad that I'm just watching them now. Like, it took me so long to get to these. And actually, after this review, we will be doing the Fellowship of the Ring and continuing the Lord of the Rings franchise reviews. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Click the little notification bell for more of our content. And have a great night, and fare thee well.